In this part of the video, we are going to talk about EIGRP, which stands for Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. EIGRP is an open routing protocol created by Cisco. A router running EIGRP stores copies of all its neighbors' routing tables so that it can quickly adapt to alternate routes. If no appropriate route exists, EIGRP queries its neighbor to discover an alternate route. These queries propagate until an alternate route is found. Unlike some earlier routing protocols that, that would send an entire table to neighboring routers when one routing table entry is changed, EIGRP notifies the neighbors of only the specific change in the table. Let's see this thing, EIGRP in practice. For this test lab, this will be my network topology. This is router 1, router 2, router 3, router 4. All these are connected using serial links. These routers contain loopback IP address. This will be 1.00, this will be 2.00, this will be 3.00, this will be 3. This will be 4.00, and the network between R1 and R2 is 10.00. R2 to R3 is 20.0.0/24. Between R3 it is 30.0.0.0/24. Now let me configure all the 4 routers. Save, run. All the 4 routers are in stop status. So let's start them. Now the routers have been started, and let's start the console so that we can configure all the routers. Okay, first of all we have to run the same command on all the 4 terminals, like enable and configure terminal. For this we require this command prompt, and this will come only if we select view, toolbars, send commands. So the first command will be enable, second will be config terminal. This command has gone to all the 4 consoles of different routers. Let's configure the router R1. Let's configure the loopback for all the 4 routers. Int loopback 0, IP address 1.0.0.0, and subnet will be 255.0.0.0. No shut. Similarly for R2 it will be interface loopback 0, IP address 2.0.0.0, 255.0.0.0, no shut. Similarly for third one it will be interface loopback 0, IP address 3.0.0.0, and subnet mask 258.0.0.0. For the fourth one, sorry, no shutdown also required, no shut. Interface S fourth one, interface s0 slash interface loopback 0 IP address 4.0.0.0 255.2 0.0.0 no shut. Let me give the IP addresses to serial ports. For R1 interface S, for interface S0 slash 0 of R1, IP address will be, for R1 let it be dot 1 10.0.0.1 1, and subnet mask will be 255.255.255.0 because it is 24/24. No shut. Now if we see the okay, let's configure the IP address for router 2 S0 slash 0 interface S0 slash 0 IP address will be 10.0.0.2 255.255.255.0 no shut. Similarly for this serial port of R2, the IP address will be interface S0 slash 1 IP address will be 20.0.0.2 255.255.255.0 no shut. Similarly for R3, let me configure this S0 slash 0 interface S0 slash 0 IP address 20.0.0.0 3 255.255.255.0 no shut. So we need to configure the S0 slash 1 for R3. S0 slash 1 for R3. IP address should be 30 slash dot 3 no shut. Lastly for the IP for the fourth router, the IP address will be for S0 slash 0 interface S0 slash 0 IP address 30.0.0.4. Sorry, I need to specify the subnet mask as well. No shut. For this router, the IP address ends with .1. For this IP address ends with .2. For this ends with .3, and for this R4, the IP address ends with .4. Now let me check the IP configuration of all the 4 routers. I'll type end so that I can come out to the root prompt. Show IP interface brief. For the first router, the IP address is, it shows that the loopback has not been assigned. Let me check. Here also loopback is not assigned. Here also loopback not assigned. Loopback not assigned. Let's assign. Let's configure interface. Sorry, config t interface loopback 0. IP address 1.0. Sorry, 0 255.0.0.0. It shows bad mask for /8. That means the subnet mask for this should be something else. Let it be 255 here also. This is also wrong. Let me make it also 255. Okay, let the subnet mask for all the 4 be like this. That means it will be /32. This is the subnet masks 255.255.255.255. Let me configure this on R1. It has been configured. No shut and show IP interface brief. Okay, on first one R1, these two IP addresses have been assigned. On R2, interface, sorry, I have to run into the config mode on all the routers and conf t on the second router, interface loopback 0 to IP address 2.0.0.0 255.255.255.255. No shut and show IP interface brief. On the second one I see 3 IP addresses 10, 20 and 2.10.22.0. On the third one, interface loopback 0, IP address 3.0.0.0 255.255.255.255. No shut and show IP interface brief. On R3, 20, 30 and 3. 20, 30 and 3 are shown. And lastly on the fourth, interface loopback 0, IP address 4.0.0.0 255.255.255.255. No shut and show IP interface brief on the fourth. Two networks are there, 30 and 4, 13 4 from R1. Let me try to ping from R1. Let me ping this one S0/1. Let's see whether we can do or not. Ping 20.0.20.0.0.2. Sorry, png. Let me come out of all the commands. Png ping 20.0.0.1. It is trying to send, but it will not be able to. Get any results. That is why the success rate is 0%, 0 out of 5. Therefore, we must enable EIGRP on both the routers. First, let me see the EIGRP neighbors on R1. Show IP EIGRP neighbors. Sorry, it's not right to be. Show IP EIGRP neighbors. It does not show any neighbors because the EIGRP has not been configured. To configure it, we and let's see topology also. Show IP EIGRP topology. It is also not showing. So let's R1 let R1 broadcast its IP addresses. For this, what I need to do is I need to go to the config mode on all the, go to N9 END config T. Now let me enable router EIGRP question mark. It shows incomplete router EIGRP question mark. This shows that we need to put one more parameter. It will range from 1 to 65535, and this will be the autonomous system number, and all the network devices in this diagram should have the same EIGRP number, autonomous system number. For the time being, let me choose 1 as the autonomous system number, router EIGRP 1 on all the 4 devices. That is why I am timing at the top. Now to configure further, I also need to type this command, no auto -summary, and next I need to type these commands individually. For R1 need to broadcast all its IP addresses. I'll type network. The IP address is 1.0. Sorry, network 1.0.0.0, and one more network. Here this will be the IP addresses of routers 10.0.0.1, and configured from console by console. Let me show you this thing. This will be for R1. Similarly for R2, I need to type network. Let me specify the network for this one 2.0.0 and this one and this one also. Network 10 dot network 10.0.0.2 and network. The moment I've configured this one, it has established a link with R1 also. The moment this line came on R1 also, the connectivity was established. Let me also configure on this thing. It will be 20.0.0.2, and let's do for the loopback also. It will be 2.0.0, and similarly for third one I have to specify all the networks, or in short I can also type network 0.0.0.0. This means bring all interfaces in. And similarly go for this one also. Network 0.0.0.0, and now let's see. Let's see the show IP route. There are 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and then there will be 10 dot something, 20 dot something, 30 dot something. This is 10 dot something, 30 dot something, and 10, 30, and 20 is also there. Similarly here also it shows all the things. Let me also see for R1. Let's see who are the Eigrp neighbors. For R1 the Eigrp neighbor will be R2 with this S0/0. Show IP Eigrp neighbors. For this it shows that the for R1 the Eigrp neighbor is 10.0.0.2, SC0/0. This one, this is a neighbor for R1. Let's see who are the neighbors for R2. Show IP Eigrp neighbors. It shows for this router R2 the two neighbors are for this R2 the two neighbors are this, which is 20.0.0.3, 20.0.0.3, and the next one is this one, SC 0/0. It is 10.0.0.1. This one. So these are the two neighbors. And if I see the Eigrp topology, it shows all. Similarly for R3, the neighbors for R3 will be this one and this one. Show Eigrp, sorry, show IP Eigrp neighbors. This means for R3 the two neighbors are this and this, which is shown over here. 30.0.0.0.4 and 20.0.0.2. And if I go on R1, since now I can ping any interface because of Eigrp, because I can see that in the router table all the networks are there. Show IP route, it shows all the interfaces connected, 1 2 3 4 10 20 30. That is why I will be able to ping even this one, even I will be able to ping this one. Its IP address will be 30.0.0.0.4 for R4. Let me see, ping 30.0.0.0.4. It shows the success rate is 100%, 5 out of 5. Or even if I want to ping from here to this, let's see this thing, ping 30.0.0.0. sorry 3, it will be. This is the benefit of Eigrp, that we can discover our neighbors and we can ping any one. And if I have to trace from R1, if I have to trace from this to this, then my hops will be this one, hop 1, hop 2. Let's see, it will give me the IP addresses of these routers. Trace, sorry, trace 30.0.0.4. It will give me 3 hops, first, second, third. 10.0.0 to 20.0.0.3, 30.0.0.4. It will give me 4 hops, HOPS.